Hello folks, this is Mr. Dan coming to you live from the Landscape Design Classroom, and today we're going to talk about different opportunities in plant sciences. So what we're going to look at today is some career opportunities to see what's available to students who are interested in growth and health of plants. As you can see, the person on the right is an ecologist that's checking out some different parts of the plant, seeing how the plant is sustaining life within the ground. So we're going to look at some different careers in plant science. So let's compare crop science and plant science. So typically students in horticulture are going to go over to the plant science end of it, and kids in the more agriculture-based classes may end up in crop science studies. Both are really big in the United States. As you folks probably know, ag production, crops, it takes up a pretty good base of our economy. So agriculture is huge for us. So different things you see in crop science studies, you're studying more of the soils, field crops grown, or that could also be called agronomy. So, and then in the plant area of it, not only we still study soils, but we also look at garden plants, ornamental plants, plants in nature, but requires a pretty good foundation in botany. So, botany, what is it? It's a scientific study of plants, how they grow, their structures, what it takes to help them grow, and it's continually moving from there. So, this includes a wide range of living organisms, the smallest bacteria to huge redwood trees out in California. This would be the algae, fungi, ferns, conifers, flowering plants, and agricultural crops. So there's always going to be some kind of crossover between plant sciences and crop sciences. So you never completely get away from one or the other, no matter which direction you go. So what a botanist might study: ecology, the interaction of plants in the environment. How does a plant survive? What conditions does it need to thrive there? Botanist hunts for new species, so there are people around the world that are continually looking for new plant varieties. There are millions of different types of plants in the world, so there's definitely no shortage of different plant type varieties. You got experiments on growth and conditions, so we do this in landscaping. We do this through different fertilizers, different treatments to get plants to grow better, to get grass as green as possible, to get those thin blades in there instead of like the large blades. So typically, even if you get into the landscaping field compared to a horticulture-based field, you're going to be dealing with some kind of chemical or another at some point. So the structure of plants, chemical changes in plants, genetic information in plant DNA. So if you really decide you want to get into the sciences of botany and plants, you're definitely going to be getting into DNA. So what's the benefits of society that a botanist creates? They help improve medicines, foods, fibers, building materials, and other plant materials. Mostly everything that you have in life came from a natural stuff, like a natural plant or some kind of naturally occurring substance. Better management for parks, forests, rangelands, and wilderness areas, and public health and environmental protection. So botanists are really incorporated into all facets of life, no matter if it's the foods that you're eating, if it's working with parks to ensure that the plant varieties there are not becoming invasive, getting rid of invasive plants, and helping with things even such as trying to stop wildfires out in California. So, careers for botanists. They may work for educational institutions, definitely for government and different businesses. So they may end up working in a greenhouse, splicing new plants, working for the government for the park system, education as teachers, instructors, greenhouse keepers, a little bit of anything and everything. So types of work: research, improve plant quality, and food safety. So work in educational institutions. Colleges, universities, and some high schools. Teaching and research. Extension. The really big one in Pennsylvania would be Penn State Extension, where which you actually go through to get your pesticides license, but they actually do a lot of different classes on anything from starting your own landscape business to properly treating certain insects within a greenhouse. So for any more information on that stuff, make sure you check out the Penn State Extension website. It's extremely informative, and we do use that here in class for a good bit of content. So government work, federal and state agencies. Some examples of this would be the U.S. Department of Agriculture, National Park Service. We even have people working for NASA, the Environmental Protection Agency. It's really incorporated into a ton of branches of government, or a ton of jobs within governments. I mean, locally, even here in Monroeville, there's definitely going to be a botanist working with the parks, even if they're not on their payroll, but maybe from the state. So jobs in business and industry. Botanists can work for drug companies, creating different pharmaceuticals, or consulting on at least. Oil and chemicals, lumber and paper, seed and nursery, crop protection, fruit growers, food companies, and environmental groups. So getting into botany, there's a lot of different avenues you can take here. So if you're really into the science of plants, I mean, you're going to be very useful for a lot of different companies. So keeping plants healthy. Plant pathologists, they're concerned with plant health. So that's understanding disease-causing organisms and understanding how plants grow. Now, we do some of that in here with growing plants in the greenhouse, seeing how different types of conditions will improve plant quality or even kill it. You know, there's a lot of different areas that we can touch even within this classroom before you make a choice if you want to be a plant pathologist, a botanist, or anything like that. So living organisms or non-living agents causing plant diseases. So we'll be getting into diseases and organisms here later in the school year, but we'll be checking out all these things and how to treat them within class. So careers for plant pathologists, definitely opportunities in education, government, and business again. Some different examples, research, teaching, or extension, like Penn State Extension we talked about, product development and sales, regulation work, private consultants, greenhouse or golf course managers. So you folks that are really into turf and building golf courses, and just kind of want to work in that sector, there's plenty of work to be done with those companies. And a lot of plant pathologists actually end up working for different fertilizer manufacturers and chemical manufacturers, and then also forest managers. So anywhere where plant health is really considered as important, you're typically going to find a plant pathologist and usually botanists as well. So plant breeders or geneticists, they're improving and changing existing plants. They use biotechnology and genetic engineering, creating new and improved plants, and studying the inheritance and variation within plants. So what training is needed for that? Bachelor's degree in agricultural science could be within sales and management, applied research, assisting with basic research. There's a lot of avenues you can get into whenever you want to get into greenhouse and pathologist work within the horticulture industry. So a master's or PhD, basic research, and then in a PhD, typically college teaching or research administration. So recommended high school courses. You're currently enrolled one here in the landscape design horticulture class. So biology, English, chemistry, physics, pretty much all your main courses, but some things that would definitely help are computer science, learning foreign languages. Latin is huge for the horticulture industry, especially within identifying plants. Because when you're identifying plants, you want to use Latin names instead of the common names, because there could be multiple common names for one plant, but there's always only one Latin name. So last one, a supervised agricultural experience. Anybody interested in working within one of those through our FFA chapter here, please come see me, or please email me or approach me in class about that. Some more suggestions. Get some experience through summer undergraduate research projects, internships with the university professor, lab or field work. And other than that, if you folks have any questions, please email me here, give me a call to the classroom, or just make a comment here on the YouTube page, and I'll be more than glad to help you. Have a great day, folks.